Apparently, one of the fans of Matt Walsh is themselves a creator. And we're gonna take a quick look at their video. Let's see what sort of people are fans of Matt Walsh, shall we? The video is called Peter and the Key to Life Before Death.
Hey, this is Dana here, just giving another late night talk, some thoughts. So, in this talk, I want to discuss a little bit about the Vatican and all the stuff that is inside the Vatican. I've never been there myself, but from looking at what people are saying and the pictures and the videos, it definitely confirms what I've been. My theory is that the church has been worshiping Satan.
Oh.
And they've been worshiping the Antichrist.
Oh.
So I've had this feeling for some time.
I see.
And they've been worshiping Lucifer in the U room. I don't know, but back in the day.
Just for context, this person left a comment under my video saying, "Matt Walsh is my hero." Just so you know.
Back in the day, I used to visit sculptures, so I would see sculptures.
Visit sculptures.
Kind of communicate with them.
What? Excuse me?
You know, have little talks with them, visit them, and I would go to this cemetery where they had this big giant sculpture of...
I don't even know what to say to this, to be perfectly honest. A person believes that the Vatican holds a deep, dark secret of the church worshipping Satan, and this person used to visit sculptures and have little talks with sculptures. All I can say is that it does not surprise me that this person is a Matt Walsh fan. Seeing their mental state. Wouldn't surprise me if more Matt Walsh fans were like this.
Peter, of St. Peter.
Oh, St. Peter.
And every time I'd see him, I would visit him so often in the cemetery and just like hang out with these sculptures.
I see.
And I would see him holding these keys, and
that was sort of like a, let me guess, there was a hint of church. And once again, I will remind you, this is a Matt Walsh fan. This person left a comment under my video saying, "Matt Walsh is my hero." So I think the video that we're watching now explains a lot, actually. Like, do you think all Matt Walsh fans are like this? Do you think all of them are this unwell? It honestly makes me feel less mad, and now I'm just starting to feel bad for them. Does that make sense? I'm just starting to feel bad for those people. They're clearly not well. You think a large portion of them are like this? Worse. Okay. Alright then. Worse.
I knew that he was trying to tell me something.
I see.
And because he was a saint, I was told, that as a Jew, I wasn't supposed to follow saints.
Oh my God. As a Jewish person, I don't know what to say.
And seeing, Jesus sculptures of him on the cross, it made me feel very satanic thinking about...
What?
Thinking about anything to do with Jesus. But then I would see St. Paul, and I would see...
What do you mean it made you feel very satanic? Feeling satanic is not exactly a thing in Judaism. Judaism is not just Christianity light without Jesus. There are quite a lot of differences between Judaism and Christianity. Like, the idea of sin is not understood as it's understood in Christianity when it comes to Judaism. I felt very satanic. My gosh. I mean, yeah, I don't mean this as a joke either.
Paul, I don't even want to call him saint because I believe that I have a theory that even the word saint is satanic.
Oh.
So I would see Paul,
Right.
his sculpture, and for some reason I knew that he was trying to tell me something. I was interested. I was a puzzle solver, so I wanted to solve mysteries. So he had the keys.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
And as I do a little bit of research, I thought to myself, once I came to the conclusion that Jesus was
also could be just made up for clicks from religious fanatics looking for people with spiritual experiences. Well, this person has 48 subscribers and 55 views on this video. So whatever this is, it didn't exactly work.
Killed, or he was set free and didn't die. He wasn't the sacrifice.
I'm sorry, what?
Once I came to that conclusion, just the other night, I thought about it and I remembered the sculpture of the man with the keys. And I thought, who is that guy? Who was he? Who's that man?
What the heck?
And I looked it up a little bit about him, and it said that he knew Jesus and that he gave Jesus the keys to heaven. And so,
oh my gosh,
I was like majestic about that. I was like, wow, that's like amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
So he gave
amazing.
He gave Peter the keys to heaven, and then when you see pictures of Peter, oftentimes he's next to Paul. And when you look at Paul, you see something totally different. You see a man who's holding a sword and a book. And it gave it away when it reminded me.
Why would you do a 17 minutes troll video that nobody watches? Like, it might feel like a troll, but it also weirdly feels real. Satan, the Grinch that saved Jesus. Jesus as the living Christ, peace upon him. Jesus as the living Christ, peace upon him, part 2. Reaction video Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson. I don't know. I'm not so sure if it's a troll.
Of him, I remembered about him when I was looking at the paintings of Jesus, and all of a sudden I see to his side a man with keys. And I thought, oh, it's the guy with the keys. Like, it's the man with the keys. And I thought, who is that? And then I look at the angels, like, looking at him, and I look at him, and I look at Jesus. In some of the paintings, he's, like, trying to reach for Peter. He's, like, reaching for Peter, or giving him the keys, and he's kind of...
Even if it's a troll, then that still represents a Matt Walsh fan.
Looking away at this other guy. And you're thinking, like, who is this other guy? And then I look at him.
Who is this?
And the angels are kind of looking at him too, like, oh, who are you? And Mother Mary Magdalene, or his mom. She's
dad.
Looking at him, but more at his sword. She's just kind of looking at his sword, and Jesus is kind of looking away from him, like looking towards. His head is always geared towards Peter.
I went to the wrong
or reaching
place.
For Peter.
I got distracted by this wacky video.
And,
I swear.
Paul is just kind of pointing at Jesus, or holding his book and pointing at Jesus. And so then I looked it up a little bit about each of these guys.
I can't believe this is a representation of a fan. We're gonna have to troll or no, it's a representation of Matt Walsh's fans. This is pretty ridiculous, troll or no.
of women and children,
This
and
is pretty sad and pathetic, whether or not it's a troll.
a spot in
That's
his
the
heart for
point.
us.
That's the
And
thing.
that the opposite was true about Paul. And that Paul
Like, come on.
was a fan of the pagans, and he wanted the followers of Jesus to gear towards the pagans and the pagan rituals. And Peter, on the other hand, wanted us to stay strong into our Jewish roots. And it made sense to me that Paul...
How do you stay close to Jewish roots of Judaism that rejects Jesus while at the same time worshipping Jesus? Can you explain this to me? I mean,
was pushing this idea of pagan worship, of, like, you know, the pagan gods and child sacrifice, whereas Peter was a follower of Jesus, which to me means that he also had a strong love for women.
what?
He wanted to protect us.
Excuse me?
So,
Excuse
what
me?
I understood then is that that's why Jesus gave him the keys. Jesus gave him the keys because he was to follow his lead of protecting women and children.
I see.
And Paul, on the other hand, was not.
When did Jesus take it upon himself to
baby makers, and we were just good for reproductive organs and
reproductive
you know,
organs?
that leads to the all boys club where they're all gay and
what?
pedophiles, you know.
Yeah, what?
That's
excuse me?
That leads to the all boys club where they're all gay and pedophiles.
I see. So let me hear this again.
Good for protecting women and children.
Okay.
And
Jesus protected women and children. Okay.
And Paul, on the other hand, was not like that. He believed that women were just baby makers, and we were just good for reproductive organs, and you know, that leads to the all boys club where they're all gay and pedophiles.
So wait, the other guy, Paul, wanted to treat women just as reproductive machines, and that leads to the all boys club of being gay and pedophiles. That makes no sense.
You know,
I don't know.
And that's where we get the church that we have today. This idea that Jesus, as the baby, died for our best interest, meaning that we needed child sacrifice. It's kind of like symbolism of child sacrifice.
Jesus didn't die as a baby. A 33-year-old man is not a baby. I don't know about you, but I don't think a 33-year-old man is a baby. What is happening? This is a treat video.
You know, you look at the Pope.
Here we are.
Oh, excuse me.
Are you bored?
Pope, what's sitting behind the Pope?
Are you bored or sleep deprived?
And you see that that the church was the following of Jesus was taken from him. He is a counterfeit.
A what?
And Paul was part of that dictation that geared back towards pagan rituals and pagan occults.
Oh.
Whereas Peter was not towards the occult. Peter was towards truth and leadership.
Oh. Truth.
Leadership, not...
Okay. Peter, truth, leadership. Paul, paganism. Okay. Okay. Got it. Makes perfect sense to me. That makes perfect sense to me. Truth and leadership. Weren't they both leaders, sort of?
not an occult leadership. Because that's what often
but in the truth
these
leadership,
occult leaders do, is they turn into
Occult
the
leaders.
kings and queens.
oh,
They put themselves in positions of power to be like kings and queens, but fool you into thinking that you're serving God
wait,
when you're not. You're serving the king.
so one
of that
person,
occult.
does that mean that one person became both the king and the queen? What does that mean?
And they did not like Jesus because Jesus was a king who did not
Who are
like
they?
the mischievous parts of the occult.
What?
He did not really like the occult. He was in
Okay, who are they? They did not like Jesus. Who are they? Tell me, who are they? Usually when people say they mean Jewish people, but she said she was Jewish. So who are they? This is getting really wacky.
to true leadership. He was into strong family values and caring about the poor, and he was a true leader. And it's always those that fear true leadership that try to turn away from.
What does any of that mean?
But somehow then they're all afraid of true leadership, and then they gear themselves towards somebody who says,
What does that mean? Are you saying pagans didn't care about family at all? She calls herself an almist and says she respects all religions but some more than others. I think she's just Orthodox Christian. Like, what's going on here? What does true leadership mean? What does false leadership mean? What does that mean? What do you mean?
"Oh no, we're not dictators. We're not dictators. We're just the Pope of God. We're not a dictator at all. We're just the Pope of God. Come bring your family, bring your children, especially your children, especially your little boys. Trust them with us because we're going to instill God in them."
So they are the Catholic Church, I guess.
By teaching them that Jesus died for their best interest. This sacrifice is for them. And that is a recipe for evil. That is a recipe for...
But you call yourself Christian. And Jesus dying for the sins of humanity is like the number one doctrine of Christianity. What's happening?
the devil. And that is exactly what the devil is, and that's what the church has been doing. They've been using your passion for God against you.
Oh.
But
I see.
Peter has the keys. He had the keys. And so he was able to
Well, thanks,
share
Peter.
his keys. The artists can tell no lies.
What?
The artists could feel. That's what I love about artists, is that they really can't lie.
Wait,
They will tell you. A true artist will tell you what's in their heart, whether you like it or not.
wait, but I'm an artist, and I think trans people, myself included, are valid and good. And I'm an artist, which means I cannot lie. And do you know who is not an artist? Matt Walsh is not an artist, which means that Matt Walsh can lie. So I must be right. So why are you saying that you're a big fan of Matt Walsh and not me? I'm the artist here. I cannot lie, which means I'm telling the truth. And that means Matt Walsh is lying about trans people, right?
And they'll give you the clues, and they'll give you the secrets. And same thing with the architects. The architects as well. They can tell no lies. They will tell...
Oh, the architects as well.
They will tell... True architects will tell...
True architects.
Tell the hidden secrets within.
Okay.
They will give you the clues to the secrets. And that's kind of what they did at the Vatican. The Vatican is shaped like the hole of a key. And Peter has the key.
Peter.
And what's inside the Vatican is them keeping Jesus hostage.
This is totally rational and normal, by the way.
He's locked up inside the Vatican, or his spirit is locked inside the Vatican.
He's locked.
Chained
to the devil.
So
we have to free him.
That's what we're doing here. So we're just unlocking Jesus. You know, unlocking that
unlocking Jesus.
Giving it to that bird and saying, "Here, bird, fly, go fly, plant this tree of life." Because Jesus was set free and he was given peace.
This makes no sense.
My little go at that.
At what?
I used to sit next to Peter's statue
and talk to it. I know.
Like a few hours at a time.
And talk to it. I know.
Kind of try to absorb like what he was doing, or something about him. His one hand was to the sky, and then his other hand was holding keys, and I would think, this guy's got something. He's got something. I want to know. What does that guy got? I want to know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because we love solving mysteries.
Peter Griffin's a prophet.
Anyway, God bless. And another thing before I go is
what have you got for us?
The reason that we're able to find this is because the devil he has guilt. The devil's guilty, and that's why he leaves clues and messages.
What?
He feels guilt, and therefore he will be found.
What?
The devil will be discovered.
You're bored of your own story.
And he will always be conquered because he's clumsy. Because he has regret. Believe it or not, the devil has regret. The devil is eaten up inside by himself.
That makes no sense. If the devil has regret,
an infinity of self-loathing.
Wouldn't that mean that the devil can be redeemed in your worldview?
Crumbs.
What?
It leaves little cookie crumbs, and in the end, good always defeats evil, and that's why I'm not a dualist. Is because the devil is just not as smart. Evil is just not as smart as good. Good will always prevail because
this person might very well be
this
person might very well be actually unwell. I once again ask, how many of those fanatical Matt Walsh fans are just deeply unwell people? Like, honestly.
Has a reason beyond itself. Goodness has a reason beyond its flesh. Goodness has a reason.
Goodness has flesh.
Sky, like it has an ultimate goal of transcendence.
Good to know that goodness has flesh
and serenity. Whereas evil wants to destroy serenity, and therefore evil wants to destroy the silence with noise, but after a while, the noise gets raspy, and the noise gets tired.
The noise gets tired.
Calms the fuck down.
Goodness has flesh.
Anyway, well, that's...
And the noise gets tired.
And,
makes sense to me.
Salam Aleichem. Peace to all great leaders, and, hola to my ladies. Thank you, and... God bless.
So if you've enjoyed this little segment, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, especially if you are a Matt Walsh fan. Leave a comment and tell me sincerely if you can relate to any of this. Is this close to your experience?